I think that in the history of the world, I believe that you play a key role in children's storytelling.
Oh, nice.
From your perspective, what is missing from today's children's TV?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I look at a show like Sesame Street, and it's changed so much from what it was when it first started, and you would expect it to evolve over time. But these days, I don't watch the show these days, but my understanding is that it has a lot less activity on the street. A lot more animation, a lot less puppets, but also a lot less people. And a lot of that is because it's more expensive to produce that part of the show. So you could say part of what's missing is the money, but that's not really it. I think it's it's certainly on a show like that, I think it's the feeling of community, the feeling of all the people who live. For me, Sesame Street, even at 10 years old, when I was a kid, was a real place. In my mind, in my fantasy mind, I always felt like that once the show went off the air, if you knocked on that trash can, Oscar was going to pop up and tell you to stop, you know. It felt like a real place.
But Sesame Street is a real place.
Well, but it feels slightly less so now than it did then, to me, anyway. That it's not even imagination that's missing. I think, but I like the feeling of the camaraderie of the community of people. You know, yeah, that connection between people, and it's not always missing. But sometimes it is, or it's treated a little. At least for me, it's hard for me to say because for little kids it might be fine, but in my mind, I watch some of what I see on television for kids, and it just feels kind of patronizing in a way. It feels like they're talking down to the kids, and Sesame Street certainly never did that. You know, when Jim and Frank were doing Ernie and Bert, they were doing what they thought was funny for them. They were laughing while they were doing this, and it just so happened they were teaching people the alphabet. But they were doing silly things that made them laugh, you know. So there's a great deal of depth to those characters beyond just whatever they were saying on the surface.